Hey guys.
Welcome back to Harsh-Hearted, Tenderhearted. Today we are going through 10 things to stop doing to start healing. My first thing is to stop comparing your looks to others.
That's a good one, comparison.
Yeah, looks specifically, I think. Kai's the youngest child,
I am.
and I'm an older child, like an eldest. And no matter what family dynamic I've been in, like I've had like step-siblings, stuff like that, I've always been the oldest.
That's true.
Right? Right?
Whoa.
I know. So we kind of have different mentalities when it comes to comparison a little bit, which I've is a new finding for me, is that younger children, not younger children,
The younger child.
the youngest sibling, or the middle sibling, whatever, doesn't like comparison. And the older child, the oldest child, likes comparison. Because they're always like, this is how you treated me, why aren't you treating them the same? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the youngest child's always like, oh, I'm different. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of true.
Right?
It is true.
Right?
As a youngest child, I can say that's true.
Yeah, and as an oldest child, like I don't like comparison, but I find myself comparing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like okay with it and stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, I hold people to like a higher standard because I'm like, wait, it's like I want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like a different mentality. But I think healthy competition is good. I think it's good in like work. I think it's good in sports. I think it's even good, not competition, but inspiration mentally and emotionally.
Like motivation.
Yeah, to kind of like compare yourself to the next person or somebody you kind of want to be like. I think that it's the purpose of kind of like a role model or like, you know what I'm
for
saying?
them to like inspire you.
Yeah. To be better. I think when it's like a negative comparison, not so productive, but looks you don't really have as much control over.
Well, yeah, you look like what you look like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a harder thing to change, as hard as it is to like change yourself mentally. Like it's hard to like get in the gym every day, or it's hard to like have enough money to have plastic surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's logically a harder thing to change, and like it shouldn't be a priority to change anyway.
Well, yeah.
You know? Like mentally, emotionally growth, I can see somebody like wanting to mature or to grow or change, but looks wise, like you should be confident in what you look like.
What you look like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hard because it's like with like your phones and like social media and everything, and like just like the world kind of getting like you have more access to like what other people look like in other places, where it's like you have more to compare yourself to.
Exactly.
And more like fault to find.
That's true. And it's so weird too. You see it through the years how what is it called? Like the poster look for a female has changed. And no matter what it is, everybody wants to be it.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird. You know what I'm saying? Like as it kind of changes, everybody also changes and is just like, wait, I want to be that now. Just because it's like so socially sought after, but it's just like you look like, I understand being healthy. We talked about that before. I think everybody should be healthy, but to compare your looks to others in a way that you want to be somebody else, I think is detrimental to your growth.
What's your opinion on like the Kardashian Jenners being upset that people are like pointing out their looks and that they're not meeting the beauty standards that they themselves set?
I think that like Kendall and Kylie specifically, right?
Kylie
yeah, okay. I think Kylie was so unbelievably young.
She was so young. She's like 16.
Exactly. And now she has children, and now she's
like 25 and see her brain's developing. She's like, I was way too young. I think she said that she was like, I probably wouldn't have done as much as I did.
Yeah. You know, and having that much money in your family, kind of disposable to you, like Chris lets him get away with a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, that young, like you, and with all those eyes on you, like of course you want to like look like the most famous models, so you push that, and you want to look beautiful and socially accepted. And I think that she went through it very, very young, and she, through no fault of her own, because not no fault of her own, but I think that everybody kind of tries to push everybody who's confident like pushes, like not pushes, but like everybody's posting what they look like. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody does it, but she had enough traction that it set a beauty standard.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's such a negative thing that now that the beauty standard she's setting is more natural.
I know. I don't get that.
You know?
I think it's because she's upset about it. Like she's like that. She's not. That people are talking about it.
Okay. Okay. True. True.
Because they're like, why do you feel bad when you set the beauty standard that you like? You know? Do you know? Like,
right. Right. I feel like it's more of like a responsibility thing. Like I said, like guilt is very familiar to me. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like you imagine that many people like watching you.
oh no, I'm very like. She handles it well.
Yeah. Especially now as an adult, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So I think she's good.
I do.
I prefer the beauty standard that she's setting right now.
Yeah.
You know? And I think she looks great, but just leave her the fuck alone.
I know, right? She's just trying to like.
Oh my god.
She's just trying to like flaunt around Italy with her 2 kids and best friend.
I know.
Like.
I know. As would I.
Yeah, right? If you
know
had
what
that
I'm
money.
saying? Exactly. Oh my god.
I had to stop fearing vulnerability.
Okay, true.
Yeah,
True.
because I feel like in my last relationship, we've talked about it before, like I was very avoidant.
Mm-hmm.
So like voicing my needs and stuff just never really came naturally to me, especially growing up. So then when I was in a relationship where I had to do that, it just wasn't like I couldn't do it. And then to my face, my ex-boyfriend called me a stone cold robot and a heartless bitch to my face, which is crazy. And then
while you guys were dating?
Yeah, while we were dating.
I'm dead.
I don't know. When I got out of it, I was like, I kind of sat with it and I was like, I don't like that somebody was comfortable enough to say that to my face.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, that somebody that I cared about thought that of me.
Yeah.
So then I sort of had to like sit there and like work through that, I guess. But I had to like force myself to express things to like my friends and family and stuff like that. And I think it was good because like I knew my friends and my family and just people I was around wouldn't like it was safe for me to be vulnerable.
Yes. Yeah.
So then now that if I'm put in the situation again, which I will be put in the situation where I have to be vulnerable because I want to be loved.
Yeah.
Like I know that rejection isn't like the only outcome that's possible.
Right.
I think.
Right. I think vulnerability is super important, and I think that as harsh as it was, I think that I've personally seen in my life my harsh honesty help people grow. Do you know what I'm saying? And like regardless of anything else, like any of the other outcomes, like they grow regardless. And I've had people like say that like my words stick with them a lot, and it's I don't mind being as honest. Like I've always been the honest friend. I will always be the honest friend.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so important because that's even how I personally have like healed other parts of myself. Is like somebody said something and I was like, "Oh my god, that person thinks that of me."
Yeah.
You know? And then you go in and you're like oh my god, it's a mess in here.
No, I know.
And I think vulnerability is super important also in getting to know yourself, which we've talked about. So I struggled with that too growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was then a super switch again to the other side of the spectrum where I was like too vulnerable all the time.
Yeah.
And then I kind of had to find a balance as an adult, as with everything else in my life. But that is something that's hard because for a long time I thought being vulnerable was like weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know? And if I wanted to be strong, I was supposed to be strong on my own.
Yeah.
So
that was a big one too.
Yeah. My next one is going out every weekend.
That's a good one.
Right.
It takes a lot of toll on your body. You don't realize it at the time.
Yes.
But it does like on your body and like your bank account and just everything all around. Because you're like out there drinking and then it's like that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. And even if you're not drinking, like
just the atmosphere, it's a lot of energy.
Yeah. And when I say going out too, like I also mean like making plans every single weekend. Like I think I'm very open about my feelings about people kind of enjoying their alone time, like learning how to enjoy their alone time. And I think that setting aside strict time, like scheduled time to spend with yourself productively is important in making that transition. And I found that helped me a lot when it was just like, just don't make plans this weekend. Stay home.
Yeah, because those plans could be used as like a distraction too.
Exactly. And rest is so important. I don't often allow myself to rest. So kind of forcing myself to rest and reset is so important in my week. So unbelievably important because I have a very busy schedule. And I used to work a schedule too where it was like my weekends were Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. So it was almost easier to rest and easier to not make plans and have time to myself if I was single because everybody else is at work.
Yeah, they're busy. They're doing other things.
Exactly. So I kind of loved it, you know? I kind of loved it.
Yeah, it makes it easier, yeah.
I did not at all mind it at all. My social battery was higher. Like, it was just... it was great.
And even if like those are you weekends, even if you leave the house and go out, it's not as busy during the day because everybody's at work.
Exactly. The errands were easier. Yeah. Oh my God. And I'm not saying like don't leave the front door, but like run your errands, like whatever, but spend alone time productively.
Yeah.
And productively can also mean like a hobby. Finding
hobbies
a new
hobby, are good.
You know what I'm saying? Like just productively where you're doing something, not just like laying in your bed alone or like sitting on the couch rotting watching TV. Like get up by yourself and do something on a scheduled time that you don't have anything else to do. And like I think it helps you also kind of set boundaries with people once you learn how to enjoy your alone time, because it's like it doesn't,
because you know you're good alone.
Matter. Exactly. Yeah. And like you get to a place where you kind of like you prefer to have your alone time, like your scheduled alone time. So it's like, listen, like if you can't chill with that, then what are we doing?
A lot of people don't do things for fun, for like themselves, I've noticed.
Something I want to start doing is like going to the movies. I hate the movies, but it's just like, it's just an idea. You know what I'm saying? Going to the movies alone, like once a month, or going out to eat alone once a month or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like pushing that alone.
It's relaxing. I used to eat alone all the time when I was going to school because like my friends and I had like clashing schedules or whatever. So I would like go out and eat a lot alone by myself. It's a fun time.
It is. It is. Especially like in the middle of a work day too. It's nice. But I need to like come home, drive myself to dinner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I remember somebody I was talking to did that one time. They were like trying to take themselves, like just go alone.
Yeah, like date themselves.
Alone. Yeah. And they were like talking to me for a second, and then all of a sudden they stopped, and the messages weren't delivered, and I guess their phone died like as soon as I think the water was being delivered, and it was like awful.
Okay, yeah.
Like, kind of turned me off for a second, but I was like, no, my phone's always charged. I'm good. Like, yeah. No, I can't.
Looking to control things that you can't. Because, like, you can't change people. You can't fix people. You can't... Well, you can, but you shouldn't manipulate people and, like, try to, like, influence their choices. You can't stop pain from being, like, a part of life. Also, like, you can do things to try and avoid unnecessary pain. But you can't, like... stop it completely, because like things start and end, and it's just like you can't really avoid that. So like you can control things that are within your power to control, but like once you accept that there are things that you can't, I feel like that kind of gives you the control that you're looking for, because you're like, okay, these things I can't control, but these things I can, so I'm gonna do everything within my power to try and get the outcome I want, kind of.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
If you're not religious or Catholic, that's a prayer.
It's a serenity prayer, and it is what they actually say at the beginning of AA.
Is it really?
It is. I've been there.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that it was like AA.
Like recited, yeah.
Because whenever
as a group, yeah. Because I guess like it makes sense, because with the addiction thing, like grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Like it's like it makes sense. I just didn't like that it was like religious. Like I was just a little bit like, whoa, because everybody in the room in unison is saying the serenity prayer word for word. I'll memorize, but
it takes you back to like your Catholic upbringing.
Yes.
Like, right? Like the religious trauma. It's so funny. The main memory I have of that prayer is like standing, like facing the PA system, like the wall, and then just everybody like monotonely just like repeating it in unison. Yeah. I don't even know how I know that prayer. Like, I don't ever remember actually practicing that prayer, but like when somebody starts saying it, I like know all the words.
Right. Yeah. To sum it up.
I'm like, maybe like subconsciously that like was fueling this.
Okay, true. No, true. That's immediately what I thought of as soon as she started talking. But yeah, no, it's very true. I had to come to terms with that as well. Like I had control issues a lot growing up. I felt like I've talked about before, like the house that I grew up in was very, very chaotic and very like
turbulent.
Yeah. And I was so young and I had no control over any of it. So kind of growing up, I had issues like knowing what I could control, knowing what I couldn't control, and knowing the difference. And yeah, it helps with the whole energy placement thing that I always talk about, because then you can just prioritize where you need to place your energy, because a lot of things are out of your control.
Yeah, I feel like when you're worried about like finding things to control, it's like you're very frazzled. But once you kind of give that up, you're like, okay, like these are what I can and what I can't control. Like, it kind of separates it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so my next one is kind of like a whole bunch of, just a combination of a whole bunch of words, but you're like a sentence. But it's to stop asking not other people, but like the wrong people or too many people for their opinion.
Oh, I have one that's similar to that.
Oh, I thought so. That's why I had 6. Maybe I just should have let you say it. But I saw this thing that went around. I think I might have seen it on Facebook or Instagram, but it said something along the lines of the one surefire way to make the wrong decision is to ask everyone. And I was like, no, it's true. And I think it goes along with the whole people pleasing thing and like the whole like being insecure, not really knowing who you are, because it's like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? Yeah. And like, I understand, like, I'll ask people for like fonts on tattoos or like whatever, but I'm very, very sure of like everything that I do.
Yeah, it's like, take it with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
The other people's opinions.
Exactly. Like when people question my opinions, I'm very, very confident in what I chose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the type to think like, oh my God, like they don't like
to double back on it, and doubt your original choice.
Exactly. So if I'm asking for an opinion, like I've already thought about everything.
You've already decided.
Yeah. But I think that's where it gets confusing and gray and harder to kind of know what you want. Like, and if you make the wrong decision a couple times, you make the wrong decision a couple times. You learn how to prioritize. Yeah. You know? So like, I think that advice is iffy, you know, like advice especially is iffy, because it's like, especially if you're asking multiple people, or if you're asking people that like, you know, when you ask somebody for advice and they know you know that they're gonna lead you astray.
Yeah, it's like they have their own
on that.
Yeah, it's kind of like their own. Yeah. Like you're kind of like confirmation bias. Like you're kind of hoping that they say a certain thing, so it like justifies what you
you're wrongdoing. Exactly. No, yeah. See, so like I had to kind of stop doing that, and then it helped me also take accountability for everything that I do.
Yeah.
You know, like there's nothing that I've said or that I've done that like if you came up to me, if you blasted me for, like I'm not gonna say that I didn't say or that I didn't do, and I even like things that I say out of pocket, like things that like when I'm angry or like whatever like that, like I know exactly what I said. Yes, I said that. I've said it before.
You stand by it.
Yeah. If I didn't mean it, I've apologized for it, and if I haven't apologized, then I meant it. So be confident in yourself. Make your own decisions, and if you make the wrong ones, clean it up, try again.
Yeah, mine that was really similar to that one was to stop acting like there's multiple people living your life.
Okay, yeah.
Like in the sense that like making big decisions, when you're making big decisions and like letting other people's opinion kind of dictate them, And I think it's kind of harder. And okay, we've talked about the whole immigrant family thing. Like, it's kind of harder than that because you have like the two cultures clashing, where it's like inside the house, it's very like familial based, very like unit, like collective. And then when you leave the house, it's like everybody's kind of on their own.
Yeah, especially in 2024, because like it's true in the house. Like, I live in a more westernized household.
Yeah.
But again, her parents were a lot older when they came here.
Yeah.
So
mine's much more Eastern.
yeah.
Yeah.
So typically, sole people in the household, especially if you're not a man, don't make decisions.
Yeah.
So on their own. And then you walk outside in 2024 and everyone's like, grow your own brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's where, kind of like we talked about, I don't remember if it was last week, a couple weeks ago, whatever, but the whole like generational trauma of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, because it's like hard because you have your peers around you that like they making decisions for themselves look so easy and come so easily, but then it's like you go home and you're reminded of how much like, I don't know, like sacrifice was kind of made for you to do better than your parents. Like, it's kind of weird. So it's like, and there's like the whole generational trauma of it's like, how do I repay that back? But then it's also not your life's purpose to like be in debt. Yeah, it's not your responsibility to be in debt like that. Yeah. And for a long time for me, it was just meeting like expectations of people, even though like I didn't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
So it's like
knowing what you want.
Yeah, knowing what I want and like not living my life just so other people can live through me.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. And like you feel a lot of guilt when you start to realize that too.
Oh no, you do. Yeah. And not one of my favorite TikToks ever, but like it really got me. But it was this Filipino girl randomly came up my For You page when that one girl did the cover of, what's that song called? I don't wanna talk.
Oh, what I've been through.
Yes, yeah, that one.
I don't remember the name. It's gonna bother me now.
And it was like a really slow acoustic cover.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so it was to that sound, and it was a Filipino girl like kind of crying, getting ready, doing her makeup, and she was like not talking about, but like the captions and stuff were kind of saying how she's made that decision as like a Filipino to like cut off her family.
Oh, I think you sent this to me.
Yeah. Oh my God, that got me so bad because like it's such a real thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for a lot of people in our culture, it's like all or nothing.
Yeah, it's very hard to do like a gray sort of thing.
Yeah. There is no such thing as like this is my belief and that's your belief.
Yeah, it's like everybody has to have the same belief.
Yeah.
It's
or
like
you don't communicate.
Yeah.
You can't communicate.
I had to start telling myself that like the people I'm trying to get opinions for are outsiders to my life. Like even though they're in my life, but they're not living my life.
Yeah.
Like, cause if I make the wrong choice or decision, it's like they can go back to their life. You know, right. I can't. Like, I have to live with the consequences. I have to pick up the mess. I have to like
you're the only person that's lived with you forever.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like, if I do something wrong, it's my fault because like they could have influenced me, but I also could have made that choice to not be influenced.
Exactly.
By it.
No, exactly. Exactly. My next one is being super delusional. I understand a certain level of delusion because I think that I couldn't believe in manifestation.
Yeah.
If I didn't believe in being a little bit delusional.
Yeah, but there's a fine line between too much and healthy.
Yeah, right. Like there's making goals and there's stunting your growth.
Yeah.
And like being in a different reality.
Yeah.
You know, like I know I've known people that like are so delusional that they are quite literally living a different reality than everybody else in the room. Like it is so bad. And you can literally in plain sight see where and why it's stunting their growth.
Oh yeah, like in real time.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Like it's like, girl, if you just, like but yeah, be a healthy delusional.
Healthy delusional is good.
Yeah.
My next one is holding on to painful things without learning from them. But I feel like it causes you to repeat a lot of bad habits because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And
like
because you're used to them.
ends.
Yeah. And it's like, I saw this thing that was like, to heal a wound, you have to stop touching it.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, true.
Yes.
That is true. You can't keep checking on it. And then it's also kind of plays into like the energy thing that you're very big about.
That is very true. And I find that touching the wound and looking at the wound are very different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you kind of get to a place when you learn how to do that, when you can look back without feeling so much. You know?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And without making it like break you or spiral, or
it doesn't have to be 100 all the time.
Yeah. Like, it can be a good thing. You can like find love in painful situations again by yourself. But I think that learning how to learn from the mistakes and the pain is like the first step and the hardest step, obviously.
Yeah.
These are kind of like 3 different ones, but they're all pretty much the same.
They're all like connected, yeah.
Yeah. But like, I have being a doormat or waiting to cut people off, and like people pleasing, putting other people's needs before your own, which is kind of similar to what you were saying. But I think that you lose self-respect and self-worth every time you let something slide.
Yeah.
Every single time.
It's kind of like the go back until you hate them.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm talking like families, friends, like what is it called? Romantic partners. Yeah, like, oh my god, forgot what it was literally forgot what it was called. That's crazy. But quite literally every time you let something slide. And I think that's why I'm so quick to cut people off and quick to like tell somebody that they're stepping out of line.
It's like a one and done sort of thing.
Yeah. Like, no chances, but like know your place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not to say like I'm running around not knowing my place either. Like, I know time and place. I know, like, y'all should see me at work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but
it's very professional. It's very like two different people.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, literally 2 different people. And I think that's so important to know your place where you are in the room.
Just being aware. Yeah.
Exactly. So like, just like waiting to say something or waiting to cut people off, like you were the only person hurting.
Yeah, like letting it fester. Yeah. Like a wound, like an infection.
Exactly. Like, you're the only person that's hurting. And if you think about it, like, the people that you want to say something to or want to cut off, like, you think that they're doing something wrong to you, like, they're winning in that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have that one up. They have that, like, kind of control over you know what I'm saying, and control over the situation. And it's like, you lose self-respect and self-worth every time. You lose yourself every time. And they're just chilling.
Yeah, right. They probably don't even realize they're doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. They're just chilling, you know?
I know, I'm bad with that. I need to like leave sooner.
Right. Yeah. Right.
My next one is hitting rock bottom before deciding things need to change. You don't need to be doing that. I don't need to be. Yeah. Like, there's a saying in the healthcare field where it's like the best treatment is prevention. So like, if you're on top of your stuff and it's like you're doing things before they really, it's kind of just being proactive. It's like, you don't say, like, you won't have a mess to deal with after. Like, you don't have to keep going back and like keep retracing your steps. Yeah. You know, and it's,
I think everybody in my life has either heard me talk about liking to be proactive or has gotten a lecture about needing to be proactive. That's something that I truly believe in, because it's so true. So many problems could be avoided if you just didn't do it. Yeah. And it's like, I think that it goes along with the whole knowing yourself to prioritize, because when you prioritize wrong, you're bound to make the wrong decision.
And then you have a mess.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And again, helps with self accountability, because when you already know what you hold responsibility in, it's easier to 1, apologize, 2, clean up your mess, 3, make the right decision to begin with.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it gives room for a lot of excuses. Yes. And like, excuses are given by people who like to play the victim, which is an easy thing to do. And don't get me wrong, because I do it too, because she gave me a lecture she gave me a lecture the other day. I'm not even kidding.
I was thinking you could tell because our lists are so similar.
Yeah. Literally. Oh my God, let me tell you, that like kickstart my brain. I was like, oh my God, like I was looking up therapists and shit. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I was, oh my God.
You're like, BetterHelp.
No, I was literally on BetterHelp, and I was like,
God, does it work in Canada?
yeah.
Because I was also thinking about BetterHelp.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
filter by
love that.
insurance
Love
companies
that.
too, and I was like, oh my God, like
Love
clicking through the insurance companies. I was like, oh my God, I like it's rock bottom, but like rock bottom, it's always sinking.
Yeah,
Rock bottom's always sinking. There's places lower than rock bottom, and that's hell. And
and you know what? Rock bottom too. Like I've been in rock bottom plenty of time.
yeah,
And they're like the only thing that has gotten me through rock bottom is like literally there's just go up.
yeah,
Just
right.
go
Just
up.
go up. You
Yeah.
like you eventually get tired of yourself, and you're like, I have to do something. But like, it's and like I get that it's like less painful to point your fingers at other people than yourself, but like you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Like that's not a good way to conduct your life.
Right.
You know?
Right. Especially when you're somebody with like goals.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so sticking to the healing theme, we are doing lyrics we love for our segment today. Good vibes edition.
Good vibes.
Good vibes, healing vibes,
Healing vibes.
Zen vibes. So my first one is from Good Days by SZA.
Oh, that almost made my list. I have a SZA song. Yeah, I have
Really?
SZA on my list.
Okay, love that.
Yeah.
But the lyric is half of us chasing fountains of youth and it's in the present.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
Word.
Right. Love that. I remember hearing that and it literally I was like, wait, what did she say? And I like rewinded it and I'm like, that was deep. That was deep. And I'm so big on the whole like inner child thing, like keeping your inner child alive. So like yeah. And I've also struggled with being in the present for a really long time. So that one stuck with me.
Yeah, so my first one is from You're Gonna Go Far by Noah Khan.
I don't know that.
You don't know
I
that?
don't know that. But Stick Season
Oh,
puts me in the ground.
You should listen to it. It's pretty good.
Is it very like folky?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we know, I'm moving out. To preface, I'm moving out, right? I'm leaving home, which means I have to come to terms that my idea of home is going to change forever. Maybe not forever, but for an extended period of time. I don't know. And I'm not only leaving the physical home, but I'm leaving everything else that makes it a home. And like I've said that I'm worried about like my family and stuff, and these lyrics are just like lyrics in my head that are like reassurance that like they'll be fine. They'll be fine. So the lyrics are, "We ain't angry at you, love. You're the greatest thing we've lost." And if you want to go far, then you've got to go far.
Yeah, true.
You'd like it. I think you'd like it because it's
True.
like as a whole, it's like, aw. Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, you know?
Yeah, love songs like that.
Yeah, I know. You should listen to it.
Oh my god.
I can't really listen to it right now because I'm like, ooh, I'll get a little too emotional, I think.
Okay, yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I actually do have a couple of songs on my list that are like that.
Yeah, right?
That are like that.
Because I was thinking like healing vibes.
Better in Time by Leona Lewis. Do you know that song?
I feel like I do, but
I
I
was
can't think
hoping
about it off
you
the top of my
would.
head.
Even though I really love you, I'm gonna smile because I deserve to. It'll all get better in time.
I think I know it.
It'll all get better in time.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I thought
know
so.
it.
Okay. I was like, no way she doesn't know that song. But yeah, you know, even though I really love you, I'm gonna
Oh my
smile because I
God.
deserve to.
That song reminds me of Big Girls Don't Cry,
Yes, true,
Yeah.
true.
which I love that song. That's a good song too.
Yeah, no, same.
My SZA one is Normal Girl.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically like the bridge part where
Oh
it's like,
my god, I forgot about that.
Right?
That
Where-
literally, like, that part of the song makes me feel like I'm standing on top of a mountain.
right? I was gonna say it makes me feel like I'm in a cloud.
It makes me feel like I'm standing on top of the highest mountain I've
Yeah.
ever seen, like Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro. Like,
The lyric is, "This time next year I'll be feeling so good, won't remember no pain, I swear."
oh, see, mine's Your Name.
Oh, yours, your name.
Your Name. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
you know what? When I stopped talking to Danny Boy at first, that one I was like screaming that one in the car.
No, literally,
Yeah.
like from the rooftops.
Mhm.
So funny. Here I am 2 years later. Anyway, my next one is from Crooked Smile.
I have Crooked Smile
No
on
fucking
mine.
way. Okay, I knew we might have this. Maybe that's why I had 6. First verse, I feel for you, killing yourself to find a man that'll kill for you. You wake up, put makeup on, stare in the mirror, but it's clear that you can't face what's wrong. Don't need to fix what God already put his paintbrush on. Your roommate yelling, why you gotta take so long? Hey.
That's a fun song. I love playing that song in the summer.
I love that song. But yeah, literally, stop killing yourself to find a man that'll kill for you. Don't need to fix what God already put his paintbrush on.
I love that. That kind of goes along with what you were saying earlier on in the episode about comparison.
Exactly.
When things tie together.
Exactly. What's your crooked smile lyric?
We ain't picture perfect, but we're worth the picture still. Just because you're not where you want to be doesn't mean you're not worth taking up space.
Hey. I fucking love that song. My next two are a little bit slower and more ballads. But my next one is One Day at a Time by Sam Smith. Do you know that song?
No.
That song fucking wrecks me. I thought of it when I was making my list, and I had to Google the lyrics, but I couldn't listen to the song. I sung it in my head for a second. I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, you were like, can I handle this right now?
Yeah. This is one of the ones that I cannot listen to, but it's kind of like your Noah Kahn one, but it's like, it's kind of a love song.
Wait, what is it called again?
One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time.
But not really. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know you're feeling weighed down tonight and you can't find the breaks. Every day is too long for you. You are sworn to your fate. But we got everything we need in the memories we make in a world of reinventions. It's never too late.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I think you'd like that song. And then he goes like, let's sit by an English river.
Oh, I love sitting by waters.
Right?
Hold on, let me write that down. What is it called again?
One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time.
I haven't listened to it in literally years. Literally since I broke up with Lady Cop. Me and Lady Cop broke up. I have not listened to that song.
Sam Smith.
Only listen to it at night in your room.
Sam Smith will do it to you.
I know, right? But yeah, it's kind of one of those songs and one of those lyrics that's like a breath of fresh. Like, it's okay. You know?
I love songs like that.
I know.
It's so nice.
Right?
I had a couple of like that didn't make the list. Okay, but
fair.
They were Harry Styles songs, but...
Okay, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like literally like in the chorus he says, like, let's just take it one day at a time.
Oh, I love that. Side note, my dad says that to me all the time.
Yeah, very important. Yeah. Very important.
My next one is The Climb, Miley Cyrus.
Love that.
Literally the entirety of the verse, the chorus, where it's like, there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move.
Hey. I love that song.
The song's so good. I love it. I don't even know. Like, if I ever get Alzheimer's, like, play that. I actually have a playlist of songs that, like, if I ever, like, lose my memory, to, like, play for me so I can experience it again the first time. Yeah.
I'm gonna make one of those.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think I'm ever gonna lose my memory, but, like, just in case.
You never know.
Yeah. Like, who am I to toy with fate? I don't know. Love that. I also love that it's like, I'm always going to want to make it move. Like, she knows herself.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Always going to be an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're going to have to lose.
So my next one is from the song Hold On by Adele. That song also gets me. I can't often listen to that song. But in the first part of the song, or like she says it repetitively through the song, which again always gets me. Like when there's like one line that kind of like repeats
oh my gosh, Gracie Abrams does that a lot.
Yeah,
like in the majority of her songs, and it always gets me every single time, even though I know it's like her thing.
Yeah.
And I always act shocked, like fork found in the kitchen. I don't know.
I'm dead. But she says, just hold on, let time be patient, you're still strong, let pain be gracious.
Aww.
And that kind of like repeats throughout the whole
a
song.
mantra.
Yeah, and it's one of those songs too that she has 2 songs I think on this album. I don't remember which album this is, to be honest. Was it her latest? That was the last album she came out with, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because now she's doing Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But she...
Why'd you say Vegas like that?
I don't know. I thought that too. But she has 2 songs in there that kind of, it sounds like 2 songs in one. Mm-hmm. And I usually hate that, but I love it in these 2 songs.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's because it kind of like starts off slow as a ballad and then it's like kind of triumphant.
Oh, yeah. Love that. Like Fine Line by Harry Styles.
Yeah, exactly like that.
I love the songs that end strong like that.
Right, right. But when I can't tell the difference between the 2 halves of the songs, I'm like stressed out.
Oh, like Happier Than Ever, kind of?
Kind of. That one's like borderline, but kind of, yeah. There's one on the radio that was popular on the radio a couple months ago that was so bad for it, and I think it's like,
really?
Please don't. I'll put
Oh,
you on.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
one,
yeah.
I was like, wait, did the song change?
Yeah.
Like every time. Oh my god. Anyway, later on in the song, she says, sometimes loneliness is the only rest we get, and emptiness actually helps us forget. Sometimes forgiveness is easiest in secret.
Oh,
No
that's very
contact
profound.
again, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that song has helped me through multiple no contact situations.
I was just about to say, like, do you think that she went no contact with her ex-husband? But then I remember they have a kid together.
Okay, yeah, true.
Yeah, you can't really go
true.
no contact when you're co-parenting.
True.
So,
And I don't remember if it's this song or To Be Loved, but at the ending of the song there's like an excerpt?
Yeah, excerpt.
Whatever. There's I can't say it. There's like a portion of her speaking. I don't know if it was an interview or something, but she's like talking about her marriage and how like her divorce.
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. That gets me. It gets me.
Isn't it crazy that Taylor Swift and Adele are like the same age?
I know.
That's wild to me.
Adele will always be like one of my heroes.
Yeah,
You know,
everybody's an
like-
Adele fan. I feel like Adele is like the Ferrari of singers.
Yes.
Because you know how everybody's a Ferrari fan.
Yes.
I feel like everybody's an Adele fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Adele got me through some shit in high school. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. And some of her songs when she was just on the come up from like her 19 album are like still some of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah. That album's wild to me. Doesn't she like name them after her ages? That's wild to me. 19. It's kind of like Lorde.
That's true.
She did Melodrama
Yeah.
at 19, which is like a masterpiece of an album. And it's like it's
Yeah.
crazy you're 19 doing that, but
Same with Billie Eilish.
yeah, right. She started young. She started when she was like
That's crazy.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, like young.
Yeah.
My next one is surprise, Vienna by Billy Joel.
I'm dead.
I feel
I
like,
didn't put that one because I knew you were gonna put that one.
Yeah, I thought about not putting it because I thought you were gonna put it.
I'm dead.
Slow down. You're doing fine. You can't be everything you want to be before your time. A classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
A classic. Everybody. It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah.
Everybody can relate to some part of the song.
I have a bunch of tattoos on me, and I have this design that I've kind of been sitting on, waiting to see if I still want it. It's like 2 different fonts on top of each other, but it's "Slow Down, You Crazy Child."
Yeah.
And I just don't know placement wise,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a bunch of lyrics on me, so it kind of just plays in like kind of all the songs that change the trajectory.
Yeah,
of,
like change your brain
like,
chemistry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I always say like whatever that artist does, like I have a Mac Miller tattoo, he's fucking dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like no matter what that artist does, that song still helped me.
It's
through
still
something.
impacted you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to get a tattoo? I just want to go to Vienna.
True. I did grow up kind of wanting to retire in Vienna. But
Really?
then, yeah, just because of the kind of that song,
Okay.
and the attachment issues that I had with that song. But I've kind of heard about it more growing up, and I think I'm too fast paced now. It's kind of like retiring in the Philippines. I always say like some of our older family wants to retire in the Philippines. Me and my mom keep saying we can't slow down.
Yeah.
Like it would be so hard to. Just
You guys would get
completely
you guys
stop.
would get like restless.
Yeah. Like there's no such thing as fast food in the Philippines unless you're like those street market vendors.
Yeah.
It's not fast. Nothing is fast. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm a very like me and my mom are very like quick people.
Yeah.
Very hard workers in the Western society. So it's
Have you ever been on like the West Coast?
no.
No. Yeah. Like even in Vancouver, it's such like a tangible difference between the
I've
paces of
heard.
life.
I've
It's
heard.
so weird because when I went there, because like I spent a lot of time like in a major city on our coast, which is like I usually compare to Vancouver, and it's like when I got to Vancouver, it was just slow, and I was like,
Yeah.
I could not live here.
Right.
I could not live there, and it's weird because it's like it's a major city that gets It's probably like one of the most populated cities out there in that province, but it's like I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
quiet. It was so like slow.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
felt like I was going crazy, and I was only there for like a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. So I don't think I could actually maybe to visit, but like I don't actually think I could ever live there.
Right. I want to go to LA just to see, because it's also on the West Coast.
I would live in LA.
You would live in LA.
Yeah, because I feel like that's bustling regardless.
I feel like
you
it's
know what I'm
bustling, but
saying?
I just
like
I feel
everyone's
it's
always like
slow.
LA traffic. Have you seen vlogs of LA
True.
traffic? My last one, I got tattooed the other day. From Love Yours by J. Cole. Earlier on in my list, I was like, because I also
I thought
got,
about that, putting Love Yours on.
Okay, true.
Yeah,
true.
I was looking through the lyrics and I was like, which one?
True, true. But I also got a Mac Miller one, which I can't believe that I didn't include on this list. But I got More for Me Waiting from like It's a Whole Lot, or There's a Whole Lot More for Me Waiting on. I was gonna get On the Other Side, but I thought that was too morbid
Okay.
to have on my arm for people to read out in public.
And
You
then
know what I'm
question
saying?
you about it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just easier for the More for Me Waiting, and I can't believe I didn't have Good News on my list, but it's also a little bit of a morbid song.
A little bit.
Yeah. But I also got Love Yours, and that song also changed the
Yeah.
trajectory of my life and my brain chemistry. But obviously, there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. But especially, there's always going to be a bigger house somewhere, but feel me. Long as the people in that love you dearly.
Yeah, it's one of those songs that kind of shift your perspective when you listen to it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that actually no, maybe not. I was gonna say that I'm pretty sure J. Cole has like an English like degree or doctor or like an honorary one somewhere.
Oh my god, I love J. Cole. Like he's
And you can tell
he
when
is
he writes, yeah.
my celebrity hall pass list.
I love that.
Permanently. Like I would marry Jay. He's the only person I would like marry without my rule. That's like a 3-year thing. Which is crazy because I've never even met him. And you know what? Like by the way that he writes and the things that he sings about.
He has a beautiful mind.
Pardon?
He's a beautiful mind.
He does have a beautiful mind, but you can also tell that he would be able to handle me, which is also I always say so important to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like no if I had a theme song when I walked into a room, it would be no role models. Do you know what I'm saying? It would be no role models, but then he also wrote Love Yours.
Yeah.
You know?
The duality of men.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that I think that I'm very introspective, but I have a wild tramp stamp. A tramp stamp that says wild.
Yeah.
So like I feel like we've matched together. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it would work regardless. The rest that comes I can handle.
I also love how he does like side quests. Like he was playing basketball for like a Scarborough team. Like that's
he's so chill. Yeah, he's so chill about everything.
I know. Like even in like the Kendrick and Drake beef, like he was just on a beach making music.
Yeah. Like love that man. So that's all that we have for today. Thank you for watching and or listening.
Make sure you're following us on all of our socials at HarshWordedPod.
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this video and subscribe. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.